In this segment, Stephanie Miller and her guests discuss media consumption diets and how it goes a long way to explain our polarization.
Jim, you have been with Donald Trump a lot. You've traveled a lot with him. You've covered him literally daily. The health, medical issues, interesting, the sort of the lack of transparency, but not new from Donald Trump. There's been something else happening, and that is the so-called weave that he does. He claims that he can bob in and out of different conversations. It's become wildly incoherent and in some cases nonsensical and factually inaccurate, particularly as he talks about global events.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are good questions to ask about his mental health in addition to his physical health, Ali. I mean, you and I both know, having spent a lot of time in a lot of cable news makeup rooms, it's about the blending on the hand.
That's right.
If you can just do the blending a little bit better, that might help the situation. Dean knows that too. But, listen, I mean, they have no credibility when it comes to talking about Donald Trump's health. I remember back when he had COVID. Remember, the White House physician came out and said, oh, it's not that bad. You had White House aides saying, oh, it's not that bad. And then Mark Meadows, the chief of staff at the time, goes to the press and says, oh, no, actually, it was pretty bad. And I had an advisor tell me at the time that there were some that were worried he was going to die from COVID. So we should have no confidence whatsoever that they're ever going to tell the truth to the public about what's going on with his health. And the other thing, too, Ali, is we haven't talked about the bag. Remember the bag that was tossed out the window? The White House told Time Magazine or somebody that, oh, it was a contractor that threw a bag out a window. And then Trump was telling reporters, oh, no, it must have been AI. That was the reason why we saw the bag out the window. So it was either, maybe it was his health records, maybe it was the Epstein files, who knows? But one thing you can take to the bank or maybe the doctor's office is that they're just not going to level with the American people when it comes to his health.
Remember last weekend when we thought he was dead, how happy we were? It's not generally a laugh line, but... No, and then I realized I did the event with Kathy Griffin. I missed an opportunity. I posted a picture, Chris, but I should have done a video of us, dancing to music and drinking champagne. And then, oh, sorry, we thought we saw orange smoke coming out of the chimney of the White House. Sorry. Carry on.
See, it would have been even funnier if you'd have been tossing that Trump head back and forth.
Yes. All right, we'll do it at my birthday party. We'll do the bit, and I'll post it. Okay. Rudeness, but this is why people really resonate, or Jasmine Crockett resonates so much with people, because we all feel like there's so few people saying the emperor has no clothes or the emperor is obviously dying or whatever is happening there. But you wrote a piece, Why It Matters If Trump is Dead or Incapacitated Beyond Who's President. So talk a little bit about that, because it's obviously people are talking about it openly, that, what the F is wrong with him.
Right, and it's not just questioning, okay, will J.D. Vance be worse, better, or worse, or anything like that. And I'm under no illusions that they're gonna invoke the 25th Amendment. I mean,
I know. I was gonna say. But that's an example of him trying to be Trump this weekend, like dropping the S-bomb. Oh, I don't give a, S what you call it, this extrajudicial killings in international waters.
No, Vance is going to try to be Trump. But the thing that I think matters is, and I've said this before on the show, is I think that this is over to a large extent. Any support that it has is over when Trump's gone.
Yep.
And because so much of it, and as I said, the problem with the cult of personality is when the personality's gone, what's the cult going to do? And there is nobody. I mean, there's so many people voted for Trump because he's the TV man. That that once he's gone, and he's the funny TV man that says the things that you're not supposed to say. When he's gone, who has that kind of juice?
Yeah.
Who has the kind of juice that's going to get the people that never voted before to come out and vote again?
And by the way, thank you for saying this. You can say it's ghoulish or morally wrong or whatever weak-ass sentiment you want to put out there and pretend you're better than those of us that think it's actually more moral to hope that someone who is actively hurting millions of people is gone. But damn, it was a beautiful few hours. Like, it was possible we'd get through this nightmare. I mean, I'm sorry. He is a uniquely malign influence in this world. We didn't live through the time of Hitler, and I'm sorry. I refuse to feel a smidgen of, I guess I should feel bad. Like, he's evil.
We're not all love thy enemies people.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're allowed to hate our enemies and wish that they would go away. And as I say, I do not. I would never, advocate for anybody killing him or anything like that.
Yeah, me neither.
But like I said, if I'm not going to learn how to bake a chocolate cake. But if someone makes a chocolate cake and puts a slice down in front of me, I'm going to love it.
In this case, I used to make orange cakes in my Easy Bake oven. That was a
Orange
flavor.
cakes?
Yeah, it was a flavor.
In an Easy
orange.
Bake?
Yeah.
Did you get fancy with the Easy Bake
I
when you
sure
were
did.
Like,
Yeah.
make
Wow.
your own recipes and not just use the
No. I used it. They had one that was orange.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Oh, it wasn't
just
just, it was one of the radioactive powders that they would give you.
It probably tasted a lot like science. You know, it was very sciencey tasting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You said. What did we say here? The talk is shifted to not whether. Now it's shifted to whether he's had a stroke or a series of mini strokes. We've been here before, where Trump's obvious decline has been attributed to his failing heart or decaying brain. On top of that, we've had lumpy bearded skink.
What?
J.D. Vance say with little prompting that he's ready to take over the presidency. Yeah, that seems overly ambitious, even for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm ready to
I'm
go.
good.
The 200 days I've had as vice president, smelling Trump farts for all that time, that certainly made me qualified
I'm here,
to be president.
warming up my arm. I'm
boy.
here in the I'm right. You said it's the obvious reason it matters whether or not Trump's mobile and incoherent enough to still pretend to be president. You just said that this whole thing falls apart, as you said earlier, without Trump, and everyone around him knows that. If they thought it was sustainable without Trump, they wouldn't be rushing to kiss his ass endlessly and prop him up like a decaying stuffed walrus. It is true. I mean, this is like speed fascism, right? I mean, it is like, it does feel like a smash and grab, like a supermarket sweep, that old show. Like, it's just this mad dash, right?
Yeah, I think they all know that this is their shot. And that's why they're doing everything. It's not just the shock and awe thing that they talk about. It's that they get this time. And, unless somehow they come up with a way to keep his corpse twitching, there's no way that they're going to be able to run him again or pretend. I did like somebody said that, I can't remember who it was on Blue Sky, that the Supreme Court would declare that there's nothing in the Constitution that says a corpse can't run for president.
Weekend at Donnie's. They'll figure it out.
They are always looking for a loophole in that administration. Always.
So, hey, you blah, blah, blah. You said, yes, Trump
Did you
tapped
just
it.
blah, blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah.
my
Yeah,
writing?
well, because people need to go read it.
Blah,
I'm not going to do the
blah,
whole thing.
blah,
He's an award-winning writer, and you blah, blah, blah'd him.
He already said the part that I was going to say. I was getting up to the next part.
Could you yada, yada, yada it?
Yada, yada, yada. Blah, 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 blah. I'm rude. I say dirty words. Blah, 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 blah.
Stephanie, we've been together too long.
Yeah, I think so.
We're officially faking sex. You're the best. I just loved you said they won't get their asses off the couch to go rally for Vance, and I think that was a couch or a joke, and I just I just appreciated it. Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
It wasn't, but I appreciate the interpretation. See?
Also, this was very descriptive. As someone that grew up on Jacques Cousteau, you described, you said, certainly none of the politicians who've latched onto him like desperate remora on the side of a lumbering whale shark. That is what they're like. Little suckers just
hanging on there.
Yeah.
Scrubbing him clean to make sure that he keeps going.
You said I don't expect to live to see us fully recover from this, though. I swear, Rude, I wonder too. You said, but that starts with him just being gone. I mean, that's the start. But I have said that over and over, Rude, is how long does it take to undo all this damage? That he's done in months.
And I'm hearing more and more alarming things about that what you see from the outside is nothing compared to what people are saying is going on the inside, the implosion of institutions that have been there, that we've counted on, and that and the only thing that we can hope is that the effects will be felt in what would end up being truly awful and harmful ways before the midterm election.